Afghan translator arrived in the U.S. after transiting through both of the American bases.
It was kind of hard, especially when we were in Qatar because it was so hot there. I fainted 4 times in there and it was very scary. Everyone thought they were going to die. Then in Germany, it was the exact opposite. It was very, very cold. People didn't have blankets. So yeah, it was a nightmare.
In Kabul, the Taliban are maintaining order and now discouraging, at times blocking, people from reaching the airport. They don't want a terrorist attack by ISIS, their enemy, or anyone else to slow down the evacuation and keep the Americans in their country even one day longer. The U.S. and other countries have evacuated about 80,000 people from Afghanistan. That's the size of a small city. They are out of danger. They're out of Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, but now they are in this very uncomfortable holding pattern, and they may be there for some time as the State Department, U.S. military, intelligence has to go through their documents. Many of them have no documents at all, including many children. They need to verify their stories so that they can be ultimately settled in a third country or potentially the United States. Richard Engel, NBC News, Kabul.
As we continue to hear heartbreaking stories out of Afghanistan and fear for the future of the people of that country, many U.S. service members here may be wondering what their service and sacrifice there was worth. A psychologist with his own experience in Afghanistan says it's important to talk about it. And Megan Semple is joining us live with more on this story. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Jess. I sat down with a psychologist today to touch base on how Afghan war veterans and civilians who work there are dealing with the situation in Afghanistan right now and how we can help them cope. Some service members who fought the war in Afghanistan may be feeling frustrated, angry, and discouraged to see the Afghan government fall to the Taliban. They may question if all the hard work they did was for nothing. The same goes for civilians who work there, and they may also be worrying about the Afghan people they helped. I spoke with Dr. Steve Norton, who is the first psychologist to work at the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan. He says it's difficult for many veterans to reach out for help, and it's important to check in with the Afghan war veterans you may know and to let them know that you are there to support them. And also to not make assumptions about how they may be feeling, to just listen to them.
One of the things that people do, unfortunately, when they struggle is they tend to isolate. And just being able to reach out to people that may have served in Afghanistan or had colleagues there or whatever the circumstance is, reach out to them and say, how you doing? Or even just offer them an activity, let's go to coffee, something. Just get them out of that isolation.
Dr. Norton says it's also helpful for a person struggling to focus on what they accomplished while they were in Afghanistan, and that trying to analyze the politics of it is a waste of energy. He says to focus more on the smaller picture of their own experiences and not the big picture, as doing that may make them feel more helpless and defeated. And we will have resources up at kttc.com on how you can get help or help someone you know who is struggling. We'll have, so check out kttc.com. Jess.
All right, important story there. Thank you so much, Megan. Let's get more on our beautiful Wednesday now with Sarah Gannon.